I'm like putting myself in this position of like fucking UK surfing's Piers Morgan, and I don't want to be that guy. So, but I'm just passionate about it. I was watching like a fan, and then I see stuff that I want to talk about. All I want to see out of it is like British surfing be better. Like that's it. All I do is I look at it and I go, how could this be better? That's it. And so that's what we're going to talk about today with the British Cup. We were going to anyway before all the drama that I'm sure you lot are.
Yeah, we were bigging it up last week, lining it all up.
Yeah.
So it's always on the cards.
We haven't even said hello. It's just rude. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Monday board meeting. So anyway, hello. It's the Monday board meeting. We're here to talk about all things surf related, surfboard related. The waves have been pretty terrible in Cornwall, so there's not a hell of a lot to talk about in terms of our own surfing. So we're going to dive right into a few topics before we jump onto the big one. Firstly, I spoke to Renan last night.
Nice.
And Mo. I had a couple of drinks with Mo. Obviously non-alcoholic because I don't drink anymore.
No.
We might have even got a pizza, allegedly, as well, after my dinner. But you'll never know.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's why you're desperate for a surf today.
Yeah.
You doubled up.
It was fat.
Double dinner.
Yeah, it's just double dinner. I just feel terrible. I just need to go surf. So he is really liking his boards. He said to me, I don't even need to surf the epoxy. It's a keeper. It's in the bag. It's magic. I love it, which I'm really, really proud of. And he'll surf that in the event should he need to. He has surfed the PU and all of his friends and the people he surfs with are saying he's surfing better, chucking more spray, more smooth. All the things we worked on to try and get out of these boards to make the changes have happened, and I'm absolutely buzzing and I cannot wait to watch him regardless of what boards he surfs. I can't wait to watch him if we can get a feed on it at the French Nationals. But the fact that he's more than likely going to be surfing our boards on the first run.
He's a contender?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Has he won the French Nationals before?
No, he hasn't. And he showed me the list. It's deep.
Yeah.
It's deep. You know, it's one of those that you could get knocked out first round or you could win it, and there's no real. Yeah. It's going to a lot depend on waves as usual, and that is a nice little segue. Actually, let's not segue straight away. Anything that you say about surfing, I'm really like, that's a segue to the GP Cup.
It's like you've discovered this new word, and it's a segue now.
All I do is just segue. Lottie's hating it at home. So it's going to be about getting waves, but also you've got to surf good. Yeah, so Rayan's going to be surfing the boards, and I'm stoked on that. So we will try and cover it. We're going to try and cover the journey as much as we can. We're not in France, and I'm not going to be allowed to go to France anyway, so probably won't be there live. But if we can get some footage and some chats with him over there whilst he's in the comp, we definitely will. The next thing is segue, Renan. We went to the wave because it was flat while he was here. He's never surfed a wave pool, so we treated him to surfing's version of McDonald's. Eli Perrins-Davies potentially allergic to it. The wave at Bristol. Had a really fun time with the crew, just hanging out, did 2 sessions, and yeah, you can see that on our YouTube page now if you want to go and see someone absolutely batter it to pieces. And like, you left some footage on the floor, didn't you? Like it was just it was sick to watch. Same with Eli, same with Heath, same with Mo. Everyone got clips. Same with J-Man. J-Man was getting barreled. He's such a cool little dude, isn't he? He's just so chill. He got out by accident he had 2 more waves left.
Okay.
And I was like, what are you doing? He said they were the last one. He said, no, these are the 3 last ones. And he's like, so that's out on our YouTube page. Go and have a little watch of that, because it's good if you haven't been in there before, if you want to see the potential of what high level surfers are doing in there. That's a pretty decent show of it, because I was pretty amazed about how good Rayan was surfing and the lads.
Just before you move on, another video coming soon is saw the whole process of Renan being here.
Oh, that would have been a good segue. You missed a segue.
You missed a segue.
It might not be a this week segue, so
okay.
you might have to save it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just a video coming out of sort of all the footage we got of Renan when he was here. The process him and Luke went through to design his boards and sort of get to the stage they're at now. So yeah, keep an eye out for that as well.
Yeah, I like that one, because I feel like as a customer...
Is there even more you in it?
There's hardly any. There's no minute at the moment.
A lot less.
Yeah. Don't make me be that guy. I'm turning into it. Yeah, I mean, it's a good process because customers are like, why would I buy a board?
Yeah.
Or like, what is the process for a professional surfer? That's it. And it's kind of a sales pitch, but like, you can do that. We've set it up on the website now. And it costs what, 40 quid more than a normal board?
Yeah.
Like, that's a pretty good deal.
40 quid for at least 6 hours of your time, basically.
You know what? You know full well that if it takes 12, 14, 16, 18, I'll do it as well. You know I'll go even surf with them. There's limited spaces, but if you want to go through the process of having a board built for you, check our website out because I'm doing it. And you're going to see the process with Rayan, and you can see the results now. We've got a top level QS surfer competing on our boards. And that was a process of... it's a process of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boards, 3 of which we made, 2 of which he already had before that he saw value in, and we're there. So at the professional level, I think it's kind of safe to say if we can talk, if we can surf, watch footage, and get as much info as we can together, we can build you a hell of a board.
I think for someone who hasn't never worked with a shaper before for 7 years to get to the level he's at, to break through that barrier of being able to communicate with your shaper within a week was pretty crazy. There's people still now that are good surfers that can't talk to their shaper.
And that's what I was about to say when he was talking. Like, wasn't necessarily he had a set idea. He only had one idea, and it was like, this has got me this far. You have to understand, I am very nervous to leave this. Mm-hmm. This is what I do. But yeah, after surfing the first board, you start seeing he's like, oh, I see, okay. And then by the end of the week, we're building boards, and he's relatively confident in the changes that we're making. Yeah. And then he rode them, and he was very confident about them, and that's growing. So I think that, I'm not to say that the better the surfer, the harder it is necessarily, but I just think it's quite fair to say that if you're buying a surfboard and you are very much part of the process of how that board is made, you stand probably quite a good chance of getting a really good board. Yeah. Like me and him are just buzzing like, dude, what about in 2 years?
I can't wait. Yeah.
Imagine in 2 years. Like
the beginning, innit, of something proper. Yeah. Well, even next week, I said I've never been so frothed on French. I've never been frothed on the French national surfing. So just the fact I'm like, oh come on, I'm looking forward to this, as I was looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well,
this weekend.
What else happened this weekend was the GB Cup.
Well, that's why I said. Yeah. I've never looked so forward to the nationals. I was looking forward to this weekend. As a little...
Oh my God, we missed it.
You missed a segue.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm learning though, so on the job. No, so it's a brilliant weekend. For those of you who don't know, where the hell you been? The British Cup was held at Thurso, which is the northernmost point of Scotland, right near kind of John O'Groats area. And they hosted the GB Cup, which is effectively finding out the best individual surfers in the male and women's opens in the whole of Great Britain, and then the best team. Wales, Scotland, England and Channel Islands. So everyone puts in a team, equal amount of surfers. You go up there, you duke it out, and the winners are the winners. And it was cool. The first couple of days were just hanging surf, really tricky conditions. People getting through heats with one wave, and just it was hard work. Still a good watch, but as it progressed, they had to call the event off on the Saturday, which I actually think was a really good call because the surf just got better and better throughout Sunday. The more the heats progressed, the better the surf, the cleaner, the bigger, and it was by the end of it.
Exciting, wasn't it? Watching it clean up on Sunday. I think I watched it from the first heat of the day all the way through.
Nice.
Yeah, I did. If I wasn't directly watching it, I had it on my phone whilst I was doing whatever I was doing, listening to it. So I did have a few things before we get into the real nitty gritty. There's a couple of things that personal point of view. Doesn't matter. I am nobody. I'm a rubbish surfer. All of that stuff. I do have an opinion though. The commentary and the live feed and the social media updates are like Sunday league football kind of, like mums cutting oranges. It's like it doesn't have that professional feel, and it's quite hard to follow unless you really knew what was going on. Like the commentator looked like he had about 1 million hats on. An absolute legend of a guy. Like, I got nothing against the guy himself. He was right, dude. But he wasn't aware of all the surfers. He was misnaming things, constantly getting the wrong surfer on the wrong wave, and you were showing replays while some live surfing was going on, then you were seeing live feed of Outback while someone was surfing a wave, and it was just all over the show. And I understand it's in Scotland, so I'm not like, I'm doing my best to not write anyone off and say it's someone's fault, but it was widely thought by everyone that I've spoken to that it was annoying, and we wished it could have been better. And I thought, right, well, how could it be better? How could you? If you've got exactly the same budget, why don't you put out, does anyone want to do the commentary in live feed? Why isn't that? Why have we got? Well, yeah, I'd do it, 100%. But I also do know a lot of unpicked characters in surfing that would do it and do a really good job, and it'd be funny, easy to follow.
With you and a kind of a straight guy that allows you to bounce off, basically.
At this point, I just want to watch, but I would definitely do it, and I'd enjoy it.
It'd be amazing.
I'm sure it'd be a fun job. But I'm saying, like, there's loads of people. I could name people that would be good at it, and also I could name a lot of camera people who are very, very good surfers who would do it, who weren't in the event, and I don't think they'd have cost any more money, and I just feel like it would have give you a bit more grandeur to the whole thing, and the live updates are like, the contest director, like, a bit old, bit out of touch maybe to I mean, you've got the outside world, the GB Cup, and anything in the middle portraying the GB Cup is your avenue, is your channel from these outside people thinking this event is really good, really important, really prestigious.
Sponsorship, money, building it.
And you've got poor live feed, poor commentary, although I don't take anything away from the guy who's commentating because he did a really good job. And you could tell he was doing a million different things, but you could have had someone there better suited to it. And the live feed, maybe some sort of surfing production could have helped smooth it all out, because I have seen other live feeds like from the Welsh and of just basically other low level events with good live feeds or better live feeds that.
But the thing is, it's not really a low level event for us as well. It's like one of the biggest events in the UK surfing calendar.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a shame, but I don't know enough about how much they're getting paid or if it's voluntary to really have a voice about it, because it obviously is hard in those conditions. But
all right, just
I totally
answer
agree.
honestly. Expenses covered. Would you have done it for free rather than watched it, like filmed it?
Yeah.
And produced it. Yeah, so would I. Yeah. If it meant that it was going to be really good, and then the next year they
sponsorship comes in.
Because I watched the whole weekend. I might as well have. Like, I enjoy being a part of it, even if I'm not in the comp.
I just feel like surfing has this really tight knit family, especially in the UK, of people that are willing to help, and they're never asked because they're maybe loud or outspoken or have some views that aren't in the area of people currently managing those things who care for it. But like, it could have been better. Like, for sure it could have been better. So
the problem with volunteers is, unless as an organizer, unless you know that person specifically, it's such a mixed bag. There's a kind of like, if I pay them, they do the job. It's predictable. My mum manages all the volunteers for the local playhouse, and it's like, when somebody's volunteering, it comes with different expectations. They might take liberties here, liberties there. Not saying that you guys would, but it means that unless you know somebody specifically and they're completely accountable on volunteering.
No. And it's I'm not being
volunteers is hard.
Saying I'd volunteer. I'm just putting a point out that it could have been better.
Well, I literally, if I was anything to do with GB surfing, watching this, I'd be like, okay, time to put your money where your mouth is, basically.
And then I'll be like, I can't do it. So I know.
But I reckon you would step up to it and do it. But I think,
I've been to like meetings. I've done as much as I can when people have asked me, because I've said I'd help, and it's always gets to that point where it's like, actually, no, we don't want that sort of help. We'd rather like help than how about this help, and like,
which is understandable.
Yeah, it's understandable.
I wouldn't want how about this help all the time. Like,
nah, but like, some of my biggest ever lessons in life are people that I'm not preaching here. I'm genuinely saying it, that like,
what's the difference?
I'm not trying to say that I could necessarily be the help that they need to listen to. I'm saying that there's been times in my life where like someone's helped me and I haven't realised I needed help.
Yeah. And
then you're like, fucking hell, that is actually a huge part of the way I look forward in life now, because of the thing that you said or what that lesson taught me. And if you do have that closed group with like a kind of like a,
this is the way,
tunnel vision, this is the way, it stays small. and I think it could have been better. Then the other thing, I don't know if this is controversial or not. I thought the judging was pretty consistent, but personal view, I didn't necessarily agree with that consistency. I felt like there was quite a big difference between, let's say, the worst surfer in the comp and the best surfer in the comp. I think that void was quite big. So if that worst surfer, whoever that was, gets a wave, the best wave, and this surfer gets the worst wave, how, as a judge, do you level those scores out? That's really tricky. Best wave, worst surfer, worst wave, best surfer. Me personally, I feel like you always have to err on the best surfer's side because it's more critical. It meets the criteria better. Better surfing, subjectively or not, would meet criteria of judging better, like more, faster, more committed, Or
don't the best surfers get the best waves though? That's part of it.
No,
not in a heat.
No, it was
not
frustrating.
In a 20-minute heat.
Yeah, and I know like Pat's probably gonna fucking hate me, but like they didn't get the best waves, and I still feel like Pat's quite a good example on his heat and Stan's heat, where I feel like I might have put them through on the heat, even as it was. But that's just personal opinion because the judges were pretty consistent. If you were on a good wave, you're going to get a bigger score. But before the quarters, all of the people you would expect to see near the finals were knocked out. And rightly so, they didn't get on the best waves. Other people got on the best waves and surfed them well to their ability levels really, really well. Got the scores, got through. Yeah, and I'm not saying there was any like absolute robberies. There definitely wasn't. And like I say, the judging wasn't all over the place. It's pretty consistent. If you got good waves, you were going to get a bigger score. But there was a couple of times where I just don't know. I just feel like Pat might have got underscored, surfing good on not a great wave. And then someone might have got slightly overscored, surfing kind of average on a really good wave. And then that difference was led to like that better surfer getting knocked out. And yes, that better surfer should have, for 100% sure, get on better waves. And then they get through heats, no problems. So there was...
Because one of the whole things, a while ago we were saying is that the best surfers catch the most waves, so they give themselves statistically the best chance of getting a good wave, because they're putting themselves out there again and again.
There was a lot of good surfers that got knocked out before the quarters. I mean, all of them pretty much, bar Lucas. That's horrible to say. There were loads of other good surfers in the event, but a big part of your main
the names, the big names,
the GB potential squad members, all knocked out by the quarters, kind of thing. Not all of them, but the vast majority of the big names, like you say. And I wasn't sure. I didn't fully disagree with the judging, like I say. So whether or not I agree with the judging, whether or not the judging was wrong, I'd really be interested to talk to your Luke Dillons and your the new guy Nick, because a lot of the good guys got knocked out and they still surfed well.
The big names.
The big names. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. I would be interested to know what the coaches from each team's back and forth were with their bigger guys. Are you saying, look, they're obviously not scoring you very, very well if you surf a bad wave, so get better waves? Or and was there any interaction between GB staff coaching members who were effectively selecting their team from this event to say, judges, look, was there any chat there, and was that reciprocated to the surfers? Because that would all help. Because there wasn't much bad surfing from the top guys, or whatever you'd call it. No one fell off every time they needed to, but there was a lot of you just not getting on good waves.
We were talking about, I think last week I showed Joe and footage of a 19-year-old, and I told you about this rugby player that came on Noah Kalori.
Yeah. He's just tearing it up. But what was fascinating was 2-3 years ago there was a law change in terms of how the player can collect the ball and jumping, and it was recognised that in terms of how this area was going to be reffed, it was going to change the nature of the competition. Yeah.
So they're looking at lads that are 16, 17, who's got the right physical attributes that's going to lend themselves well to this shift in the laws 2 years. They're planning 3-4 years ahead in terms of training, who's got the right physical attributes, so that when they come to the fore, they can take advantage. And like I said, 6 tries in the game, and it was all around coming from the top director, from the England coach or what have you, through to all the academies and the pathways, basically, looking at all the biometrics of all the kids relative to the law changes going to happen, where they think the game's going to be in 2-3 years, and then you watch it all kind of come together, and he's in the England training squad. He's like in one professional game, now he's on the England training squad for the Ultimate Internationals, basically. But it's fascinating the level of coordinated understanding and thinking that has to go to be actually competitively successful, basically.
Yeah, and I reckon that's maybe slightly missing in that whole setup, because I don't think it's not coming. I'm sure it's coming, because it is literally a couple of years old. I think it formed in like 2019. I think the funding wasn't through till like 21, 22.
Yeah,
it's new to COVID. Yeah, so it's all new to everyone. So it's not like
these pathways and these things can take years and years to kind of evolve.
Oh, I did want to say as well, I am talking nearly exclusively about the men's. The women's, different story. Those girls smashed it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like heat control, perfect surfing, judges like the good girls were good. I don't even know if like, I'm not saying that. Would they have made a couple of the heats in the men's? I would maybe Alice and Amari and Charlotte.
Yeah, fuck.
Mate, they were rich.
Yeah.
Like consistent scores throughout the event. Did it in the hard bit. Did like when the good waves come. I mean, they were sending it as well. Lila Skinner in the semi.
That takeoff.
Yeah, she went like a proper set wave, proper barreling, a really hard technical. She didn't make it because it wasn't like, oh no, it was like, I'm going under this wave, and whatever happened to her would have happened to anyone who tried to take off on that wave. They are sending it. It was like the girls are like, put it this way, like, you know what boxers say, like if you don't like what judges have to say, then don't leave it in the judges' hands.
Absolutely. Completely.
The girls weren't.
If you've left it in the judges' hands, then you don't deserve to win.
And that's what was happening in the boys section. They weren't getting on the best waves. They're leaving it in the judges' hands. And not to say that it's easy getting on the best waves either. That's a really hard thing to do. I don't even know I don't know what to say in order to be like, constructive criticism. In order to get the best waves, you need to. I don't even know what you do. You go out there, you try your best, and.
But it's weird because like we talked about it. That sort of the idea of becoming the best in the world at the shit that doesn't need skill. And it sounds like if the rips are that much, like. Positioning was a challenge basically, so paddle fitness comes into it, just like who's the fittest person on the paddle out there is going to potentially get the bigger waves, which is going to get you the bigger scores if that's how they were scoring it. So you could literally, it'd be interesting. See, and this is where it misses a trick, because you look at all the athletes out there, God, if all of them had their like 40-meter paddle times or something like that, so you actually know like out of the competitors who is the strongest paddler, and you could start to like join those dots. It'd just make it more entertaining.
And there were people in the earlier rounds that made heats from paddle fitness for sure. I spoke to a couple of them, and they, like Eli was saying, dude, I had the worst paddle outs ever. He said I paddled for 18 minutes on one of the heats. The other thing, so I don't want to like throw any shade on some of the underdogs in the event who killed it. Ewan Buick from Wales. I don't even think
he's in the final, isn't he?
Yeah. And I don't even think anyone in Wales gives him the benefit of the doubt against the top Welsh guys in the Welsh nationals, and there he is in the final. Yeah. Wave selection bang on.
I think deserved.
Yeah. I mean.
Wait, actually, before we move on, I want to say something about the judging.
Yeah.
From like a competitive point of view, obviously I wasn't there and I watched it on a live stream. You can only sort of get a certain idea of what the day was like and what the judging was like. It's completely different if you're there. But from a competitor's point of view, I think even if you don't maybe 100% agree with the judging, I think it's so important that they're consistent throughout an event. And I think you could sort of analyse all the footage and see what they were scoring.
Yes.
And then you can change your tactics for that. And I think it's a massive part in comps. We've discussed it from a few different occasions.
Was it really well told to the competitors, or were they all having to work out?
But if it's consistent, you should be able to work it out pretty quickly.
Yeah, there was another heat where that came up. So Finn Gillespie, I think it was his first or second wave of his heat. He got knocked out on. He smoked a turn, and then he's bombed it down, and then he's gone underlit, proper critical. It would have been a huge score had he landed this turn. Yeah. And then I heard someone else say, yeah, but he went for that turn, but if he'd have just gone for just more of a lip blind and then sort of to the flats, bit more safe, still critical, hypercritical. If he'd done that, he'd have definitely got a score. And yeah, you can 100%. See from what he got from the first turn, he would have, but we should be promoting him doing what he tried to do.
Yeah.
And then with a couple of minutes of the heat left, or maybe right at the end, he takes off on a wave that he absolutely has to, because Lucas let it go, and I think Finn had second priority. He had to go on this wave to try and get a score, and he absolutely just murders this section. Comes down, no claim.
Yeah.
One of the best turns of the event. Needs a 6.4, I think, to get through the heat. They give him a 6, and I'm there going, I feel like I'd love to know actual real good competitive surfers yourself and anyone in that event, if you agree, that what they scored was a 6. He needed a 6.4. I feel like it could have been close to a 6 in a higher level event.
But he didn't claim it, like...
No, like
I reckon...
You know, it was, he knew how big that turn was.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he should just get the score because he did good surfing, but if someone got a set wave in that heat and hit 4 turns and got a 6, and you say Finn's done 1 turn on the only section he had for the wave, so poor wave choice throughout the whole heat, but it's all he had, and he gets 1 turn and does a 6, I want to see a really nice way of differentiating the 2 6s so that one's better than the other. And why? And I feel like you should always go with the surfer doing the critical surfing.
Because I could do 4 turns on a wave, but I couldn't do that 1 turn basically. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
Ever in my life.
You got to weigh in like it's a point break, like it's a different.
100%.
Like there's so many different factors, and I know the turn you're talking about it, and my initial thought as soon as like we're waiting for the scores coming, I was like, fuck, that could so be either side.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be mad either way.
No, I wouldn't have been mad if it was a 7.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit mad if it was a 6. I felt like it was right around the score.
Yeah.
And like, how does it always happen like that? But anyway, he didn't get through, and that's on him for not getting better waves and whatever. So like, I'm not just because he's from Newquay or whatever. People are going to say like I'm favouring him. It's not. It's just a decent example.
One of the biggest moments, I thought. Everyone was watching that, going like, ooh,
yeah. Because I even thought Pat did a turn, and it was just a little bit underscored. It wasn't like crazy.
Yeah.
Like we say, the judging was pretty consistent.
Yeah.
But was the consistency maybe a little bit ignorant to the nuances you need to judge good surfing? That would be my call.
That, as you've been describing it, how you've just phrased it was kind of what I was thinking in my head. Like there's a nuance that's being missed here. Basically.
And what I would absolutely love to do is get a CT panel or even a QS panel to judge the comp after without knowing what the scores were, and just see what happens, just to see where we're at, or like the GB coaches doing that behind closed doors to gauge what they need to do to help British judges be more in line with what's going on in the world. Because I just feel like there was some surfers, I just don't want to take anything away, like there was some...
No, I think because at the end of the day, regardless of the surfing, like you'd like to think the best surfer still kind of rises to the top, or like
if they get the job done.
Yeah, exactly that.
In this case they didn't, but because there were so many of them not, you have to think to yourself, are they all really need to go back to the drawing board on how to command a heat?
Yeah.
Or was there something that weren't completely reciprocated in terms of understanding on judging set?
Yeah.
Because there's quite a lot of them that went out basically. I don't know. Anyway,
But
maybe I'm being nice to them, and like they should have just got better fucking waves, and they should have just got better fucking waves like the girls did. And there's no question, you know who's going through. But every heat in those rounds, you're like, oh my god, he's going to get the score for the 4 turn softer surfing. But yeah, not to take anything away from the underdogs who blew it apart, especially the Channel Islands guys. And I was so gutted for them that the event got called off.
Same.
Because I don't want this to sound the wrong way, but they were good surfers. Really, you could tell they were well travelled, knew how to surf good waves. The better the waves got, the better they were selecting waves and surfing them. They weren't like they were ripping. They were absolutely ripping, and they got to their final. And I just feel like if this gets rerun at Fistral, it's not fair, because they're going to have far better chance in good waves to win that heat than you put it on a beach break and you got blooming Lucas.
Yeah.
You know, like it, and that's I'm not trying to say I want them to beat Lucas. I'm just trying to say like that was their moment, and to have it taken away from them after they've travelled all the way from the Channel Islands.
Is this a segue?
Can it be?
I saw the segue going a mile. I just thought this was a beautifully he's lining up the segue.
All right, let's go. So apart from that, it was sick to watch. I love what's happening in the surfing scene. I love everyone pushing themselves. I kind of love that it's not easy for our good guys to win internationals, and they've got to kind of rethink things. And I kind of love that they now have the support that they didn't have a few years ago with the GB setup to be able to do that with the coaches, and it's all going in the right direction. It's just things I wanted to talk about, which leads us to what happened in the girls' semis. Firstly, I thought about this quite a lot now, because like I actually put like I really wanted to talk about it. We were going to talk about this anyway, and it just so happens we've got a load of drama to talk about. But I thought about like how do I say it? How do I talk about it? Because one thing's really, really clear is I think it's disrespectful, disgusting, unsafe, selfish, immature, crazy behaviour to paddle out at an event of a wave like that whilst there's a competition going on. Don't care how you act after that. I don't care what the excuses are. I don't care if you didn't swear at someone, you did swear at someone, you did drop in on someone, you didn't drop in on someone. I don't care. You got in your wetsuit and you went out there, wankers.
So break it down, because I wasn't watching it live, and all I was trying to get the results, and then suddenly I saw this message, and obviously something had happened. And from the snippets we've got from you so far this morning, you have spoken to quite a few people, and to imagine I don't know anything, and some of the viewers might know anything. Break down what actually happened.
Right, I'll tell you what I don't want to do, just because I don't want to get caught up in the
He
bullshit.
said, she said.
I'm not going to mention names that have spoken to me unless they've said I can, and I'm not going to accuse people because they're going to get their comeuppance. It's not our job. We're just a couple of geezers having a chat. But I have spoke to lots of people up there. I no one on the other side, on the wrong side of the fence, has got hold of me just to say why they thought it was a good idea, or so I don't know what the thought processes were to do it.
Yeah.
I do know that it's a lot. It wasn't unknown that they were going to do it. It was a premeditated thing.
So somebody had heard them. They'd been talking about it in the pub the night before, or whatever. And
there was rumours that vandalism and other signs that this was going to happen at the event site had happened.
Like what?
Flags getting taken down, toilets getting blocked, things like that. Just kind of what's the word? Like you
campaign of.
Just like you're not welcome here.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of thing. So I spoke to a lot of people. So I'm not going into what happened in the water. They paddled out for sure. There was people not in the event, ruining it.
Yeah, and what they surfed. They started in the women's semis, and they surfed a few heats, and you could see that there's clearly free surfers out there. Yeah, getting in the way of competitive surfers.
And it's a wave of consequence. It's no. The thing that pisses me off is that one thing I try and do is not judge someone on how they react to adversity, because I think that that's primal nature at that point, and I don't think there'd be anything wrong with being really, really angry at someone who did that to you. But if you're a girl, a 15-year-old girl, and let's say your channel is swearing at those people or even splashing the water, and there's any retaliation from the other side, to me that's fight talk. That's not, oh, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. You could kill them. You could drop in on them and they could hit their head on the bottom. There's so many things that could go wrong. To think that you've got any stance to do what you did is an absolute madness to me, and it really, really boils my blood. I just wanted to be up there at that point, and not because I'm like some vigilante or anything. It's just sometimes you've just got to meet ignorance with
a fist.
Yeah, and I don't know the details of what they've done. It's what I'm saying is not how you acted whilst you did it. You did it. You definitely did it, and it doesn't matter if you think you're more important than the event and you've got a stance. It's still a safety issue at that point, and it wasn't dealt. If you had a really valid point as to why you didn't want the event,
gets lost in the outrage.
Yeah, it's all now just this we're all getting angry and talking about it, and it's just annoying, because just have some respect for the sport at least. Do they not travel? I know they must have travelled, because I know that I've got messages on my phone from locals who were saying these guys aren't from here. Well, the majority of the people that did this aren't from here, and they do cause not a nice vibe in the water quite consistently, and we don't condone it, and we don't, we're really just gutted that people are thinking this is Thurso locals and this is the way we treat people.
They are based there though, aren't they?
I don't know. I'm not saying, because I know that they're not from there, and they might be based there, or they might just go there a lot. I don't know.
I think that's it. I don't think I know one doesn't even like really have an abode as per se. So I think it's just that Thurso surfs regularly. It's like one of the more popular breaks up around
but like Luke said, they're not from there. I just wanted to try and make it clear.
They're not Scottish even in that respect.
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know, but
they might well have been accepted into the local community, and then not being accepting of other people in that local community at a different time, which to me blows my mind. But I'm quite anti-localism. Me, as a person, I'm like, I don't understand why you're not just nice to everyone all of the time. Like that it blows my mind, and I get angry at someone getting it out of me. Like, I'm pissed off with you for trying to like, why put me in the position of having to be angry at you? It just ruins the surf. Like, it's not fair. Like, your wave, okay, you take all your waves and just pretend I don't exist, and I'll do the same thing. That's the only way that we can get through this, because I strongly disagree with anyone being overly local at surf spots, because I think it's quite dangerous and it just ruins your surf. Like, bottom line, like, be respectful of locals for sure. They're the ones that look after the area, but you want localism to help the spot, not make it worse, not make the vibe horrible. Like Fistral, I always use it as an example. It's like one of the nicest places you'll ever surf. Quite localised.
You can draw some conclusion. I think the people that have done it have to be angry with the world, like, kind of. That there's no way where you can go project your anger onto this situation and moment when there are so many opportunities to avoid it, not get yourself angry or do that. Like, they've proactively chosen to go and vent their frustration on the world this way.
Would they have done it if it was 6 foot onshore? Would they have been out there making the point if it was the waves were crap? When they paddled out at Thurso, I have got footage, which you can slam in now, of people less than a mile away getting barreled off their heads with no locals out, not from the area. So while they were ruining something for everyone, people were getting absolutely barreled off their mind at other local spots.
Yeah.
So the empathetic person in me goes, yeah, they're obviously not very happy people.
Yeah.
Because they obviously needed to find this kind of
outlet to vent their rage on the world, and this is their frustration. Yeah, I mean, it's the only real frame you can put on it, basically.
Yeah.
My biggest bone of contention with this, and it's the only thing I've been thinking about since I saw this, I don't think they should be called free surfers. Free surfers sounds like the wrong name for it.
Are, though, fuck.
But no, I think we need to come up with like another name for, like, kind of people who proactively go out of the way to try. But it needs its own sort of, like, surfer has such a rich vernacular with so many, like, kind of esoteric words specific to, like, how we describe things, but we don't. What is a surfing term for something that, like?
I've never experienced it before.
Was it it happened in France, didn't it? Was it like a competition
It's
at
happened at Thurso before.
Yeah. But actually as a comp, and this isn't necessarily a comp specific behaviour, but
it's happened at Huntington. It's happened at. It's happened all over the world at varying points. And you have to just put it down to the individuals involved, not the points that they're making.
But we need an appropriate name, but like a word that just like makes you feel slightly repulsed, because it is repulsive behaviour.
Yeah. Well, I think no surfer wants to be called kook, and I've heard them called kook a lot. And
I can use kook affectionately, like, sort of.
Yeah, but these guys can clearly surf as such.
Exactly, they are. Yeah, this is the thing. They know better because they are good surfers. They're really good surfers. And
is it a kind of brand of misogynistic surfing? Because it's interesting that they chose to do it on the women. Like,
everyone said that. I think that was a timing thing.
Do you think?
Yeah. I'm not. I don't want to. I'm not putting any. Do
you think they felt more emboldened if it'd been a bunch of guys out there drinking and carrying on?
I think the waves just were pumping. It was getting to low. It was the time you'd have paddled out if the comp wasn't on.
Yeah.
And I know that they allegedly have said not very nice things to blokes as well in the water who tried to paddle out and stop it. And so surfing, you have to be at the right spot on the right day during the right tide with the right wind, and then to get good at surfing you have to put a lot of time in, and that does. One of the things in our sport Any high level sport, but I think a lot in our sport is entitlement. It is there. I've done this, I've done that, therefore I need this. And it's like, you do get that. The best guys in the water on a free surf, even when the vibe's quite good, do catch more waves than the worst surfers. They don't go, oh, why don't you come up here and sit here and feel relaxed while we wait for you to catch waves. That doesn't happen. It is a kill or be killed attitude.
But I think there's a difference between like when you're in the water and it's busy and you're having to compete and that energy comes over and you have to be aggressive, and sometimes you have to like bully yourself, otherwise you never get a wave.
Otherwise you never get a wave. Yeah.
But this is like premeditated going out to fuck shit up. It's two completely different energies.
Yes.
Basically.
No. I agree. It's just but some people might not be able to. Some people who do the latter might not know the difference, and that's sad. But that's just, like they might think it's okay because they do it
all the time.
Yeah, or like, I'm protecting this spot. This is our spot. This is where I've staked my claim as a surfer. I don't give a shit if you're in a comp or coming for a free surf. I do what I want out here, and that's the way it goes. And the reason why is because we're locals and we surf it more than you. And like, that's the reason. Terrible reason. Terrible reasoning, lack of just ignorance, just straight up ignorance. It's sad, it's
and
negative.
Anger towards the world,
and it's just anger towards the world. But like it I mean, there was a 15-year-old girl who has been relatively traumatized by it, and it's like, is that what they really wanted? Because that's what's happened, like. But
it's that classic case though, where like,
and it could have been worse.
Actions have consequences, and it's kind of, you've
what
lost sight. Exactly that.
What if someone had gone up and punched them in the face because of what they did? What's the point? And then are they going to then blame that person for being violent? It's just ridiculous. Everyone just has this. You've got no option but to be fierce, or you've got no option but to be a victim or a combatant.
Yeah.
And that's just not a nice. I hate people that put other people in that position. That is the thing that gets me. Like, because we've all had it in life where you're like, I've done things I'm just not proud of, and it's not. I wouldn't have had to do them had people not made me be that guy. And just because I've got that guy in me, it's like, that's my fault, or and they were unprovoked, basically, is what I'm saying. And the provocation was just ridiculous. Like, oh, there's a comp on our wave. What about if it was 2 foot onshore?
And to be fair, they've got 365 days of the year, breaks all over the place. Like, kind of, it's.
The only thing, I don't even think this is relevant at all, but I was watching.
Oh, your secret sauce? We got that at home.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. The only thing that sort of crossed my mind at one point was, I'm not sure if it was the first day. I think it was the first day, the Friday, where they ran it, and the guy that was on the Instagram stories doing all the, like, I'm not sure what he was, the contest director or whatever.
Yeah.
Said we're going to try and wrap it up a few hours before dark to let the locals have a wave, to let the locals, have their fill. Obviously, they didn't run the Saturday, meaning Sunday they pretty much had to run from dawn till dusk. That was the only thing I could think about that could have been like a potential sort of upset between locals and the competition, but I still wouldn't justify it at all. No. But it's just one thing I thought about that could have maybe started that sort of spark between them.
Yeah, could have been. I
have no idea.
But and so maybe you try and run a couple of heats on Saturday, but like at the same time, like it's a professional event. The event comes first, and it wasn't like there wasn't other waves in the area that you could have gone surfing at. So there was a point made, and it led to underdogs who had done brilliantly to get to that point now not having a fair stab at that on that day. That's never gonna. That's gone. It led to a relative amount of trauma for the girls who had to deal with all sorts of people dropping in, and there's live footage of this. That's not an accusation. You can very, very clearly see surfers taking off on waves that the girls were going to take off.
Where does it stand on like a kind of actual criminal threat sort of?
I don't know.
Like,
I know
spectrum.
the council have to clear. That they have to okay the event, and the event has to have lots of safety protocol, but then the council is then saying that you are allowed to have the event there, and whilst you don't own the sea, you'd think that maybe it could have been on the council to stick a couple of policemen at the event.
Well, so yeah, because like if this is on the street, and you've got a 15-year-old girl walking down the street, and like a 40-year-old man like makes violent gestures towards her, and the police would step into that. Like,
there is police involved.
I don't know if you could by law stop people going in. I don't think you can.
I don't think you can, but
you can stop verbal abuse and
Yeah.
all of this other stuff.
And there is police involved, and I think it is being taken really seriously. And I think the GB guys running the event did everything correct.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that there wasn't any violence, and I'm glad that no one got hurt, and I'm glad that the public response has been just.
Yeah.
I think.
Even
if it's wrongly, even if a lot of people were going on wrong technicalities of information, just the energy is correct. Yeah, and like you got to make your bed.
Do you think in the long run there's going to be more eyes on the GB Cup next year as a result of this?
Well, they're going to have to rerun
the final.
They've got to rerun the finals, yeah.
But as in, it's kind of like it's up to the eyes whether they'll be, like everything will grow from this in terms of.
Hopefully, what's that saying? Like adversity.
The mother of all creation.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that is the same, but
yeah,
you know what I mean.
No, but it is. It's something like that. Adversity creates change, and like change takes you forward. Like so, you hopefully that's the best that can come of it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
The event is run with procedures in place that stop that happening in the future, and it isn't just we don't have events anymore.
But it's almost it's not even. It's almost like a kind of. Do you reckon anybody in GB Surf will be surprised at how the energy that's kind of come out as a result of this, and go, people are really rooting, people are really invested in this, like kind of it sort of.
The surf community's like that though. Like I remember a year or two ago, I don't know who it was, a kid from Cornwall crashed in Indonesia on a moped, and within 2 days the whole surf community's donated enough for them to get an operation. I think that when it comes to it, the surf community is like that. We all know how special surfing is. It isn't just a sport. No one can exactly put their finger on it, but it's something relatively magic, and there is that connection with all surfers. And you'd like to think that you could then that common ground would lead to things like this not happening. But in the same case, you do get people who
raging against the machine.
Yeah, they're just for whatever reason they're just not quite involved in that nicety of it. They're quite. Some people think the most important thing wrongly that the most important thing in surfing is getting the best wave every single time.
Yeah.
And it's like you're missing out on a lot, mate. Take your wave, So yeah, just to put it all in perspective, it's a shame, but it has led to a lot of people talking about it. I hope the right things happen. Well done to all the competitors and people that put on the event, even though I've just feel like I've been horrible about the event. I haven't. I just would love to have seen it, broadcasted a little bit better, and it was sick. It was a sick, entertaining thing. A little bit of drama at the end, but
I just want to say, I feel first of all sorry for the competitors in the water.
Yeah.
Especially those young girls that were feeling really intimidated. Second of all, feel sorry for the people of Scotland and the surf scene of Scotland, because it's probably shed a bit of bad light on them, and I know they're the complete opposite to that, and I've seen a few posts about it.
Yeah, so I have got messages from locals saying, hey, it's not us.
Yeah.
We don't condone this. We're really gutted, and we don't want them to be anywhere near our waves.
Yeah.
And I do know from personal experience, I've been up to Thurso and been hosted, gone for cups of tea, been taken to waves, been treated really nicely, and they are just generally a nice crowd.
And thirdly, just what a shame. Like, when do we get a comp in the UK with waves like that? Especially after watching it for 2 days, people battling the stormiest, worst conditions, barely contestable, to then finally get a chance to surf a premium spot on a premium day. It's literally, you couldn't write it. The wind started going good, it was starting to pump, and then it gets cooled off. Such a shame. Massive shame.
It is. There's no other way you can say it, isn't there? But hey, maybe next year. TV Cup, maybe more people will tune in. Maybe the commentary.
Well, there's probably a lot of appetite now for the Nationals coming up this week in terms of people wanting to satisfy. Like, I want something with a proper.
It's that segue.
Nice.
Is it?
The Nationals are on midweek this week. Decent, well done. It's a natural segue.
Natural segue.
That's what you do. They just feel like you're popular.
I changed segue. Oh, that's another one.
No, so the Nationals are on. Joan is
injured but going to compete.
Like
a warrior.
At least you got an easy heat.
I'm not telling anyone I'm injured anymore.
All right, he's back.
Yeah,
He's back.
Game's a game, boys.
Who's in your heat?
Can't make me look weak. I got Lucas and and somebody, a few other people, I don't know. But I don't know.
Yeah, they're just names, aren't
exactly.
they? Board.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Luke Dillon's competing.
Is he?
Yep.
Sick.
Who are the names? Who are the contenders?
I mean, Lucas. Lucas is the one that everyone's going to have to beat. If he does it, because I'm sure he'll do it because his name's down. But I know of swells in other places in the UK right now that conflict with the nationals, and there's going to be a lot of people going, do I go?
I was doing that yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I know people do it.
Is up north working?
It's
Pumping.
absolutely pumping in some places, and effectively people are going to have to drive past pumping places to go and surf the nationals.
So shit.
Yeah, and the nationals don't mean as much as they meant 2 weeks ago.
Because they're not qualifying spots.
Yeah.
Like.
So you might see people drop out. You might not. And if they don't, sick. But
imagine if you're the only one rocks up like Joe and the new national champion.
Nah, big Mo's in.
Mo's in.
Yeah.
Imagine if it's a Joe and final.
Yeah. No, I want to see the local kids do well. I want to see all you lot just
Heath's in.
Smash it. Heath's in. Finn's in. You got some of the older guys who are doing it. See, there are people going to pull out for waves.
Yeah. Fair.
Understandable. And this is the problem, I guess, with the fact that, yeah, that's surfing though. That is surfing. It's kind of hard. Like there's an open disrespect to competitions if the waves are pumping, if it doesn't mean a lot to you.
Yeah.
But the fact was the GB Cup did mean a lot to loads of people.
Imagine if it was done where like you just said, okay, the competition's going to be on Saturday, this date, and what you had to do was you just had to film your 10 best waves somewhere in England, the UK, basically. So you can go wherever you want to, basically.
That'd be pretty sick.
Everybody sends it in, and it's like compiled, and then the winner is a bit like Eurovision, where the winner is announced, and it's literally done on a...
That's the thing, though. How do you judge like someone surfing really good on a bad wave versus someone surfing averagely on a really, really good
Yeah,
wave?
but that comes into play with the judging. Like, you kind of getting judged on if you can
Yeah,
select the right spot.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Like it's just and then it's just a free for all.
We could do that.
It's pretty cool.
We could
just ask people to send stuff in.
Yeah.
We'll do like
A little giveaway or something.
Yeah.
How do you know it's on that day and it's not in Indonesia? It's like where's that?
I think you'd be able to tell if it's in Indonesia.
Yeah, literally.
But I don't know. Whatever happens to the English, it'll be a fun event. And
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's definitely going to be on, I think.
Yeah, just got called on.
Yeah. And fair play to the people organising the event who got it done under kind of hard circumstances. And it does look kind of ominous for the board riders comp.
Yeah.
It's just a massive storm coming through again.
Yeah,
and I think they're going to have to cancel.
Do you know what though? It literally changes every day.
Oh
in terms
God,
of
I'm
what's
so
coming
hoping
through.
that is the best event, and we got so blessed the first time we did it.
Yeah.
It was the best surf comp I've ever been to, for sure.
Same.
Pumping waves, and it was just sick. And I would love it to magically be able to run, but right now it's like 1,000,000 foot and 50-mile-an-hour winds on the chart. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed.
This is a bad spell for Cornwall, isn't it?
It's
like it feels like we've been
hideous.
blessed all year, and then it's gone.
At least a year.
Yeah.
All last winter was good as well.
Yeah.
We have had a hell of a run.
We've had
Isn't
a
it
hell
something to do with El Nino and Nino?
Yeah,
Isn't
I've
it?
heard
Like
this.
every 1 year, every 4 years, you just have a shocker.
I've always a 7-year cycle.
Oh, is it 7?
Something like that.
Well, we've had 3 years of bad weather, and actually the weather was pretty good this year. So I think we're reeling the results of having there's a lot of energy coming up the Gulf Stream.
What would you rather have? Good weather and average waves, or bad weather and good waves?
Bad weather and good waves.
Yeah. What about a week on, week off? That'd do me. I reckon this time.
Perfect.
I don't know. I love it. I've loved what we've had. That's like 2 weeks, and you're just like you're literally crawling into work after 2 weeks, going, I'm still going.
It's mad how much you surf, isn't it, when the waves are good? Your boards get wrecked and everything needs to be
body's
wrapped up,
broken. But you feel unbelievable.
Oh, it is so magic.
And my friends from London come up, and it's like you're there, and like. Been surfing 2 weeks. It's just like kind of welcome. Come tea.
Yeah, and they're like, "Where you going?" You're like, "Surfing." They don't get it, do they? When people come and stay, like, "What should we do?" Well, I was going to go for a quick surf at lunch, and then
4 hours
the
later,
old town or do something rubbish what normal people do when they don't surf. Yeah. Right. Everything done?
I think so.
Yeah. I just wanted to shout out good luck to Dominic. You got your knee operation coming up. Just wanted to say, I know he listens, he watches, so good luck, bro. You'll be back out there. Getting barreled with us lot before you know it.
Wasn't he going surfing on it one last surf before he actually had the
I don't know if he ended up going.
I don't know. I haven't spoken to him. I kind of hope not, but it's today, so hope it goes well. Yeah. Hope it goes well. Get better soon. You'll be shredding in no time. We'll have. I might even come out of my alcohol retirement to have a run with him when he comes down next. Get better soon, Dominic. And do we have anything else? Josie got her boards.
Oh my god. Yes. Were they there when she got home?
Yeah. So Josie, you got your boards. Woohoo! So looking forward to hearing from Josie Hawk on how her new equipment goes, because we've upped the size, changed some of the bits on video footage. I've kind of done what I've did with Rayan and with Josie a little bit from her footage and stuff. And she got a step up as well. So yeah, looking forward to that. That's it. Anything else? No?
Don't think so.
Same time next week, everyone.
You.
Comment below on stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, tell me a name for douchebags.
All the shit I've said wrong, if you want, or if you want to come on the podcast and talk about any of the stuff. Like we want surfers, GB representatives, people with strong opinions. Give us a shout. Come on, just come and chat. Like it's not scripted. We don't know exactly what we're going to say or how it's going to come out, but we're interested to talk about it all before we crack on with the rest of the week and actually do the stuff that pays the bills.
Literally.
So yeah.
Peace.
Cheers, guys.